So I think in the interest of time, we'll just go ahead and do some housekeeping details before I introduce our amazing speaker. So for those of you who don't know me already, I'm Michelle Mackenber, and I am a former educator with the Participate Learning Program. I am excited to be with you here this afternoon and to kick off this session. Just a few housekeeping details. We do encourage you, if you are okay with it, to turn on your cameras. It is fun to see each other. I've seen in the chat many comments today about how nice it is to not just see little dots or a blank black screen like sometimes you struggle with your classes of students when they don't want to turn on their cameras. This is a no judgment zone. I said that earlier in a session. If you are still in pajamas, we do not mind. This is your informal professional development today, and we welcome everybody here as you come. So we are just thankful that you've chosen to spend some time together today. If you use gallery view, that allows you to slide back and forth to increase when Janella starts to share her screen. You'll be able to make her presentation bigger or smaller based on how many faces you want to see in gallery view. And we also ask that you remain on mute so that there's no background noise. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A session where you can unmute yourselves and ask questions if you have them about the session. So for those who might be new, the rest of you have heard this already, but Participate Learning is a company that has been around for over 30 years. We started in 1987 with the dream of bringing teachers from around the world to the US to share their culture and share global content in the curriculum with students. And that ended up evolving into now what is Global Leaders Program and dual language programs, and partnering with teachers and schools and districts that share our mission of uniting the world through global learning. People who believe that the global competencies are necessary to develop in order for students to become our future citizens and global leaders. And we strive to work towards that mission every day. And because we have great partners like you all, we get to make that happen. And we're excited about that. The community United We Teach that this summit came from is created about a year ago. It started when the pandemic hit and schools closed down and teachers were forced to go from in-person learning to teaching behind a screen using a lot of Google Classroom and Zoom and all the things. And we created this community to make a space where you could all come together to share those experiences. And we realized that no matter where you were teaching in the world, the challenges that you were facing, the successes that you were seeing, the struggles to increase student engagement, you were all feeling those same things. And this community has become a wonderful space over the past 12 months where people can share resources. We've had many lovely learning experiences together, everything from tech tools to how to create classroom community, how to communicate with parents, how to use all the different tools that you're asked to use. And also we've become friends. We've become a big community of supporters and cheerleaders for each other. And for those of you that are new to the community through this summit, we look forward to you benefiting from all of those wonderful things as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our speaker for the next 45 minutes. So Janella Ferrer is a teacher who came from Argentina with the Participate Learning Program. So every year we have thousands of educators from around the world who apply for the opportunity to come and be part of this experience. And each year we only accept about 400. We say the best of the best. And Janella is a big fan of one of the quotes that our CEO uses a lot. He says, there has to be something a little bit crazy about those of us who will pack up our suitcases and our whole entire lives and move to another country to have an adventure like this, right? And so Janella, I've heard her say this about herself before. She's like, I guess I'm a little bit crazy. She likes to use that quote. And we're so happy that she was crazy enough to accept. She, in 2018, she packed her bags and came from Argentina came to Marvin B. Smith Elementary in Burlington, North Carolina, and Alamance Burlington schools, and started this incredible professional and personal journey. And when I think about teachers who embrace global education and who integrate the world into their curriculum every day, Janella is one of those teachers that comes to mind. And for those of you that are already connected with her, you're probably nodding your head saying, yeah, that's totally true. For those who you're meeting her for the first time, I think you'll realize and agree with me at the end of this. In addition to the innovation that she shows, whether she's in person or in hybrid or behind a screen, and her incredible and creative technology skills, one of the things that impresses me about Janella is her dedication to integrating the UN Sustainable Development Goals into her dual language curriculum. She ignores the naysayers who say, ooh, like, you know, first grade, that's too young. That's too young to integrate the SDGs. Children that young can't understand those concepts, like wait till later. She ignores that. She knows that it is never too early for students to start learning about the world outside of their own, to understand their place in the world, and to understand the challenges and issues that are out there so they can become change makers. And her first graders are change makers. They already are. So she does this brilliantly, and her students, who are one day going to be our future leaders, will cause anyone who meets them to feel optimistic about the future of the world. So I'm honored to have the privilege of introducing you to Janella, to pass the mic to her so she can share more about the value of learning with and about the world through live virtual travel. So Janella.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you to all of you. I see people from many places: Belize, Guadalajara, Los Angeles, Honduras, Ecuador, Argentina, more from Honduras, Chile, Costa Rica. It's amazing. Mexico. This is the idea, to be here, yes, together to improve, yes, the way we are teaching to our kids to be global citizens, as Michelle said. Let's start. I hope you enjoy this presentation, yes? I know that you are tired, you have been in many sessions, and this is the last one. I will show you, yes, how I'm working with my kids through virtual, yes, live travel in this case. I know that some of the presenters, I don't know the other presenters in person, but you are going to see the connections among all of us. Okay, remember this world, because this seems to be another world. Remember when we used, yes, to have these real field trips. You remember the sensation of a field trip? You know that a field trip is a unique learning experience. Yes, it's a real world. What we see, we stimulate our students to be curious about the world. And remember that excitement and anticipation leaving the school environment? That was awesome. When we go on a field trip, we have that professional partner, yes, working with us, showing the kids, yes, how the real world works. It's a more holistic, integrated picture of the information. And what is amazing, going on a field trip increases, yes, our students' tolerance and empathy. This is what we want, yes. They feel empathy. And these are pictures, yes, regular pictures from my experience here, because field trips during my 20 years as a teacher, I went to many places, but field trips are amazing, yes. It doesn't matter if it rains, we want to go different places with our students, with our school mascots, yes, having the opportunity to be outside, learning. In my case, I teach Spanish here, yes. So having real experiences, working with different material outside, for me is the best. But one day, you know what happened. We say, oh no, what are we going to do? We are teachers, and we are accustomed to teach through real experiences. And you know what? many of us decided to, okay, bye-bye, it's my time, happy retirement. Yes, because this is real, this happens. Another said, no, this is not for me. Teaching virtually, no, I cannot deal with this. But many of us, like you, that you are there, you say, yes, we will survive. So we put our teacher's mode on and let's see how we can continue with this. So we started to think about, okay, how I can continue teaching if I am at home, my students are at home, but I need to continue with this successful learning. Yes, we know that our students, yes, to have a successful learning, they need to develop attitudes as curiosity, responsibility, empowerment. Yes, and also, for example, we know that to have this successful learning, we need to help our students to learn the knowledge, the curriculum, our changing planet, the human journey, our wild life and wild places. Also, we needed to continue with this successful learning, helping our students to develop their skills as observation, communication, problem solving, collaboration, but through a screen? Oh, how? How? We needed to continue helping them, yes, to finalize their studies and be the future leaders. So we started, yes, trying to get resources from everywhere. Where? We didn't find. But then, yes, immediately, let's start Googling it, making connections. Hey, that you that are in Argentina, how your kids are working with, okay, what about you? You're in France with this lockdown, how you're working, okay, that's cool. And what about you in Canada? Are you doing that? Well, we can use it. So this is what it happened. We started to make connections. As Michelle said, yes, this United We Teach community appears in these moments, and many communities, yes, of teachers started to be connected, yes, for the best of our kids. So 1 year ago, yes, on Monday we are going to be in March. So 1 year ago we started to dive into Zoom, Google Meets. All the teachers started to be with emojis. Do you remember that? Then we say, yes, now we are 3D emojis, and we started to be 3D teachers, and we started to find many apps, many, and we started to try everything, everything that we could. Yes, this Zoom green screen for me was super useful. Yes, because every day to my last year kids, every day I show them that I was in a different place and a new fact every day about that place. Yes, Epic also. For example, this year working with my mascot, it was super funny because the mascot is green and the screen is green. So when you apply that, my color monster was invisible. So imagine my kids' reactions. They could only see the eyes and the elbows and the mouth. No. It was amazing, amazing. So we started to discover different tools. Google Earth always help us to travel, yes, virtually, to show them how this look like. Also for us, the international teachers that came here or to another place before moving, we use Google Earth to see how the place we were moving to looked like. Google Slides, what I am using right now, Flipgrid, not just for your classroom. Connect other classrooms, yes, using Flipgrid. And those kids from the different classrooms can talk, yes, and answer, recording videos and writing in the chat. I do that, that's awesome. And Chrome Web Store always helping us to learn a new tool, yes, a new extension to our everyday life. So we survived and we were ready for more. This is how I felt, yes, because in this part of the hemisphere, classes ends in June, yes. So I had one group last year because I work in elementary school. And then in August 2020, I say, come on, I want more. Yes, so this is why this year was different. This lockdown this year, and for you that are in other part of the hemisphere and classes are almost starting, yes, so February, March, give more to your students. And we dive into these live virtual field trips. And it's working, you cannot imagine how. So today I'm going to show you different things that I used to do and you used to do when you have your regular classes, when you work with community helpers, you went to visit a doctor. Well, we did all of this. We went to visit a doctor, we went to a bakery shop, we went to an after-school reading program, we went to the firefighters department, we visit an author, yes, a poet. We went to the United Nations headquarters. We went to the environmental health department here in Alamance County. And we also had our exclusive, yes, musical and literary show. Yes, and this is amazing because many of these places we couldn't enter because of the size, for example, and now that everything was virtual, we could meet with everyone, everywhere. So let's start. I'm going to show you my experience. Multieye Doctor. This is not just Chanela, yes, this is teamwork. I work in first grade with other teachers. We started to say, okay, how we can make our students be more engaged with this virtual learning. Okay, who knows a doctor? Hi, I know a doctor. Okay, could you get in contact with that doctor? And that doctor that didn't know how to use technology learned, yes, and he had a patient, his grandson, to show us and teach kids, yes, why it's important to visit the doctor, how he helped the community, because in the curriculum, we were working about community helpers. So it was amazing because this is in real time and kids can ask whatever they want. Yes, and the doctor answered. The bakery shop. When I connect with these people from the bakery shop, what I wanted is not just to meet the community helpers, because we were talking about different kinds of communities, how they work and help that community. But apart from that, I am from Argentina. And the way that we speak in Argentina, it's a different Spanish. It's what we call castellano. Yes. So if there behind the screen, there are many people that speak Spanish, you're going to identify an Argentinian because of the way that we pronounce the yeah, yes, instead of say, for example, my name. We were talking about this with Michelle. I am Chanela in Argentina, but for most of my friends, I am Yanela. Yes, but here in this community helpers field trip, I wanted them here, Argentinian people also. So in this case, we went with the whole first grade team. So kids from the English classrooms, yes, and my classroom went, yes, to visit this bakery shop that is here in the United States, because they were immigrants. Yes, they came to the country 20 years ago. And in real time, this took like 1 hour approximately. Imagine the size of the bakery shop, it's really tiny to receive 70 kids. But we were all there through this online learning. And they told them how was moving to another country, how they had to learn to speak English. Yes, kids ask many questions about it, about consumers, producers. Yes, everything is related with the curriculum. So I'm going to show you a bit so you see how this works. Yes, this is a video. You're going to see me in an everyday. In Argentina, you can find diversity. Yes, and that's why, look, Ines and Ariel, they're in the bakery shop, they are mixing cultures. And this is what enrich us. Yes, always, that we are mixing, we are learning from each other. That's great. Look at that, you're dulce de leche on the top.
Yeah, dulce de leche on the top. And there you go. You got a tres leches cake right there with dulce de leche.
That's
Argentina
great.
style.
That's great. Look at that, kids.
Yeah.
So if I order a cake, you can make one like that for me, and
Yeah.
I go and pick it up.
Right. You pick it up. It takes today we have a few already baked, but it's 99 of the 99 of the times we need to make them when you order. Okay. So now Inés is going to show you how to put together an empanada.
Wow,
So
empanadas, kids, look at that.
So you got, this is a puff pastry, okay? Now it comes in different sizes. This size is the classic size we use in Argentina. Now you got up north in Santiago del Estero. They make empanadas with beef jerky or charqui. Over there is called charqui. And then they put everything in a mortar and mix the dry beef with spices, make like a paste, and make a giant empanada, like 3 or 4 times that size, and then you can bake it or you can fry it. So yeah, there you go. So you put that's beef. So every flavor has his own way to close it, or well, this is just a bit for you to see, but this took like 1 hour. Most of the presentation, of course, was in English because it wasn't just my classroom. They were with us, the other first graders, yes, that are in regular English classrooms. But they show the kids how to pronounce, yes, the Spanish words. And it was amazing because this is it's near here. So then kids went to that bakery shop, and it was amazing because they felt, the people from the bakery shop, like famous people, because they said, I saw you in that field trip. And they went to try different pieces of pastry. For the people from the bakery shop was amazing because it was close contact with children in the community. So this was amazing from both sides. What else? We went to an after school, a reading program, yes, in Ghana, in Tamale, Ghana, in Africa. When we organize this, we need to take into account the times, yes, because in this opportunity, we couldn't do it live. Why? Because when here is in the morning, there is night, or there are things that we cannot do it, or also because internet connections. But what is amazing that you get in contact with other educators, in this case, because I was working on community helpers, yes. So we talked with Mr. Peter Amobil, yes, that works in a reading camp, yes, in Tamale, Ghana. And what was amazing that he recorded a video for my kids, yes, exclusive. They are talking to us, yes, and they show the way they learn to read and write English. And he showed them videos, and they saw that the pronunciation was different. Kids were learning English, but the pronunciation was different. And the conditions where they learn are totally different. So this is what we want from the trips, the empathy. Yes, learn from real experiences. More about community helpers. Again, teamwork. Hey, do you know any firefighter? Yes, my cousin is a firefighter, for example. Okay, get in contact with him. This is how we do these connections. So we went to the firefighter headquarters. And was amazing because we went to all the rooms, This wasn't possible if we had to go real. So one of the firefighters were recording and the other one saying, okay, come with me, let's go to, and everybody, the kids and the families behind the screen, learning a lot, where they sleep. For example, here in the tube, they open the fire truck for us. They show us their suits, the helmets, where they meet to have conferences and learn about different cases, where they train, yes, workouts, everything. We went on the track. They simulate many things. They open all the drawers, all the doors from the fire truck, all the tools, everything. We saw everything. And you know that when we are working on this, apart from this, we work on literacy pieces about firefighters, community helpers. We felt like we were touching all those buttons, everything, because this was live. We went on the track. Apart from that, I always work, as Michelle said, with the Sustainable Development Goals. This year, I enrolled my class last summer, yes. Write down, teach SDGs, Google it, teach SDGs, yes. That's a site where you can connect with other teachers and you can participate in a project. In this case, for example, this school year, I was assigned a goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. So I started to tell kids how we can take care of our planet. So we started to work on a book that an author, a poet from Argentina who received many awards, yes, in poetry. She sent me the book. I chose one of the poems, yes, because that book was inspired about children's rights, yes. So I chose one that talks about taking care of the planet. So we practice fluency, word language, yes, with her. We travel using Google Earth. For her was amazing having the opportunity to share her book with kids, yes, from United States. And this is just a bit to show you. Planeta, our planet, okay? Listen.
¿Va? Nació hace millones de años, cuando yo no había nacido. En un rinconcito del cielo está mi planeta prendido. Es azul y tibiecito, y no se marea, mi amigo, cuando gira como un trompo, aunque vos estés dormido. En la escuela me enseñaron que lo tengo que cuidar y así proteger la vida, la tierra, el aire y el mar.
Pero qué lindo, un aplauso, niños. Todos un aplauso, por favor, fuerte, 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 fuerte. And this is the way, yes, that we do it. Getting in contact with people, yes, that loves to share what they do. Again, in this case, they were listening, yes, to my accent to continue learning through poetry. Let's move on. Hey, what's this? Shanela, stop. Okay, why? I want to see you. I want to see how you are. Are you enjoying it? I know that you are so tired. I know. Yes, but I want to see you. You know that we connect how? Through Twitter, through other social media. And this is the way that we connect, and we have opportunity to connect other teachers, different people from across the world to plan, yes, these virtual trips. So I would like to have a picture with you, okay, and then see it in Twitter. So come on, get ready for a picture. Michelle, are you ready to take it? Hey, great that you're turning on the cameras. Thank you.
All right, we'll do it on a count of 3 for you. We'll have to do 2 screens. So everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right,
Hey.
we'll do the next screen. So everybody pose again, just in case you're on 2. On the count of 3, your best Zoom smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, thank you. I'll send those to you, Janela.
Thank you. Always peace. Yes, if you're going to see me like this, peace. Amazing, amazing. Yes, so this is the way we contact with other teachers, yes, to continue having a great experience, yes, for our kids. That's the reason. Also, in this project that I told you in Teach SDGs, being in different communities, yes, help you to get in contact, again, with people from across the world. With my first grader, we had the opportunity to visit the United Nations through this goals project. Yeah, so again, the families are there with you, with the kids, enjoying. Now, because of the pandemic, the United Nations is closed. But we have the opportunity to have the director, yes, and the tour guides with us. So if you see in this meeting, they were almost 1,000. Zoom exploded that day for that session, yes, because what was amazing was seeing kids in real time from their classrooms in this big event to know how the United Nations is from inside. And we also, for example, this is one of the tour guides that this was in a recorded video, but then she was there with us here to answer to different questions. We had Ashok Chopra, that is a kid, that now it's a teenager, almost a grown up, that it's always inspiring and doing different things for kids, yes, to support the Sustainable Development Goals. Also, Dr. Jennifer Williams, that is the organizer of this, was with us. So I'm going to show you a bit how this works, yes? Being with people from United Nations. This was again live, yes? This meeting, and kids had the opportunity to ask questions about this. So I'm going to show you
how we work at the United Nations. So we represent 193 countries. There's 44,000 people working for the UN Secretariat all over the world. 4,000 of those are here in New York. And today you'll meet only 4 of us. It's a little, we'd like to give you a little insight into United Nations headquarters at New York. We'll do that with a short video. And then after the video, I have some of my colleagues, whom you will recognize from the video, very special guests who are here to introduce themselves and speak a little bit more about their work and also answer all of your questions. And we have a few additional colleagues lurking.
Yeah, so they did the introduction, they talk about the SDGs. It was amazing, amazing. And this is what they show us, and then kids could answer. Could ask.
Welcome to the United Nations headquarters. The headquarters in New York City occupies 18 acres of land and overlooks the East River. 75 years ago, in 1945, 51 countries signed the United Nations Charter in San Francisco. By doing so, the member states agreed to work together to save future generations from experiencing.
What? Sorry. It's the idea was, for example, to show kids how the United Nations is from inside. Yes, this was approximately 45 minutes, an hour. Yes, this talk, because they introduced the United Nations, many people that is working for the SDGs, did exposure, yes, different talks about it. We had the opportunity to visit through this video, and then the tour guides were there answering to all of our questions. And it was amazing that many of the kids then, after watching this, they wanted to be a tour guide in the United Nations. And they asked, for example, okay, but if I want to be a tour guide when I work in the United Nations, what I need to do? And the first thing that they said, it was like, okay, you need to talk at least 3 languages. So they said, okay, the kids that were in the dual language classroom immediately, okay, I need to look for another one. Yes, but it's amazing because they see how these work, yes? Apart from that, in this project that I'm working on, Goal 6, clean water and sanitation, we started to watch many videos about it. How to take care of our planet, how to take care of the water, the different realities about getting water, clean water. That's the difference. So my kids understood that in different parts of the world, it's not just opening the tap, that kids must walk during many hours, yes, according to the place where they live, many hours to get a pail of water. And they saw that, they watched many videos and they felt empathy. So I said, okay, what can I do to make my kids work locally, to start thinking globally? Yes, because you know that doing this, ultimately, they are going to be saving the world or working and having conscience about the world where we live. So I got in contact with the director of the environmental health department. I Googled it. Yes, I didn't know about it. I found her email address and I explained her, hi, I'm a teacher in this county, you know, normal. Yes, I'm a teacher in this county. I want my kids to be more engaged with this virtual learning. What we can do, yes, to show them what is your work here in our community, because I want they know what you do to provide them clear and clean water. So we planned this. She told me, yes, we used to have a program for kids where I tell them, yes, or some of us tell them a story, so they have to imagine about a situation. And this is what we did, yes? I'm going to show you a bit of a video, but they explain everything about the aquifers, how the water system works in the community, to where they go, yes, all the restaurants, different sport places where they need to see the quality of the water and how they get or turn the dirty water into clean water. So this is just a bit.
The lake staff were so distracted by the animals at the small petting zoo that they accidentally crashed into a big rock. This caused the tracker to come to a very quick stop. While getting off the rock, they realized they needed to change the oil and thought this is a perfect spot to do it. Again, they were not very careful and they spilled some of the oil onto the ground. Now this afternoon, they were supposed to be getting some rain showers, so this was sure to wash into the lake. So everyone grab your cup of oil and go ahead and stick that into your pond.
Okay. The 4 classrooms were there.
Everyone good? All right. After the staff were finished with the mowing, they were ready for lunch. On their way to the office to eat, they stopped at the lake petting zoo to check on the animals. It was lunchtime for them as well. While feeding the animals, they accidentally left the gate to the pen open and the sheep got out. The sheep made their way to the lake for a nice drink of water. Now, after they ate and had a nice drink of water, the animals needed to use the bathroom. Being that they were animals, they used the bathroom right where they were, which happened to be right next to the lake. The afternoon rain was starting to set in and washed the animal waste into the lake. Ew. So go ahead and take your cup of dirt. We're going to pretend that's our animal waste. Go ahead and stick that in the pond.
This was amazing. Kids have to prepare all the material in advance. And while she was retelling this story, she was talking about real places in the community, yes, places that they know. She was naming the lakes that they know. So that was awesome because they could imagine, yes, real time and about their life. Yes, I used to go with my family to that lake or to that park. Yes, and they had the opportunity to imagine and see in their own homes, yes, how this worked, because then the water was completely dirty. This is how we started to continue making them think about it. Methods, yes, to turn the dirty water into clean water. So now they are making different brainstorming of ideas and making different experiments or posters, yes, to try to find a solution to this problem of the dirty water or the lack of clean water. Another example, this is just a bit, but when we have those field trips, we tell the kids where we are going to. Yes, we show this in the map to them. Okay, we are here, now we are going to be talking with people from this place. Apart from that, this is the last one that I'm going to show you, yes. Again, this one, yes, the people who we visit from Argentina, I'm always trying to find some spots, yes, to give people from my country the opportunity, yes, to be in contact with people from here. This was different because it was a musical and literary show, yes, but because of the pandemic, they couldn't continue having those shows. Yes, so they did it just for us, and it was amazing because they say, okay, we could share what we do again. Yes, again. So they did it, yes, inside now in a theater. It's a duo, yes, of two girls that tell stories, yes, to kids. The name of their duo is Banda de Cosquillas, yes, if you teach Spanish and you want to look for it in Spotify, yes. And they retell stories from Argentinian authors through music, using different musical instruments. They are retelling stories. They also taught my kids to make instruments with recycled material. And kids learned a lot about the musical instruments, typical.
Venimos a contar cuentos muy maravillosos para poder disfrutar. Bienvenidos.
¡Qué lindo! ¿Les gustó?
Después les dejamos la letra, así se la saben. Y les damos el link de nuestro video con nuestro tema que se llama Banda de Cosquillas. Es nuestro tema, ¿no? El hit.
El hit, con el que cerramos los espectáculos. Nosotras somos Flor y Eli. ¿Y saben qué hacemos? Vinimos a contarles...
And this is what the idea. The kids can have the opportunity to hear the language a bit more, yes. And apart from that, they return.
Especial. ¿Les gustan los cuentos a ustedes? Levanten la mano a quien le gustan los cuentos.
You like stories? Raise your hand.
It was difficult for them to understand everything because they are accustomed to listen to me, yes, and other people speaking in the same language, but it's not the same. And it was hard for them.
¿Les parece escuchar esta historia?
Sí.
¿Cómo se llama este
¿Saben
cuento?
cómo se llama este cuento? Se llama Los colores de celeste.
A ver,
Los
escuchen.
colores de celeste. So we are going to tell us a story, but with music, musical instruments, okay? Vamos.
Celeste era una nena como muchas. Se lavaba los dientes antes de dormir. Miraba dibujitos animados y adoraba el color rosa. Le encantaba, por ejemplo, ir a pasear a Rosa.
And well, again, this was like 45 minutes approximately, yes. And kids, they have the opportunity to ask, hey, what about that instrument with keys? How you made it, yes? About, they started to say, oh, I have a guitar. I love playing the guitar, yes. And they talked about the instrument that they have there, how they call it, yes. They say it in Spanish, of course, how we call that instrument. Well, that was the last field trip, yes, that I wanted to share with you. But, sorry, I am here.
Yes, it's 10103 Wimbledon Court.
Let me see. Yes. These are some tips, yes, for you to organize how to get in contact. Maybe you heard this, yes, from other presenters. Again, we didn't know each other, and when I was watching it, yes, we work in the same way. We have to think in advance, yes, according to what we are going to be working on, yes, the standard that we are going to be working on. Okay, what can I do? Oh, yes, I can visit. And you start making that brainstorming of ideas about possible field trips or people that you can meet, yes. And you get in contact with people that you know, or you ask for a contact, or use Google look for information, yes, or social media. It's amazing. It's according to what you want to share with your kids. You know, we have all different classrooms, we have all different kids. It's according to the age, yes, what you want to share with them, according to what you are teaching. For example, recommendation for the ones that are working with little kids, yes, tell your families in advance, yes, and everything in an easy way for them to join in time, because this is coordination, yes, to have a successful field trip, because they need to be in time in the place where you telling them, okay, for example, I have a virtual field trip link always in my Google Classroom, and that is for field trips, just for that. So they know that when we go to a field trip, I share with them the special slide that I make to go on a field trip, yes, and they know that at that time they have to be there. And look at this beautiful way to conclude, through music, visiting and making our kids see the world through the eyes of a kid. They learn about places, about connections, to songs. And making this virtual learning.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note.
Gracias.
Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Gracias. Thank you so much, yes, for being here today, up to the end of the summit. Yes, you could stay up to the end, and this is awesome. This is awesome, yes, because it's Saturday. And on a Saturday, you are here trying to look for tools to see what you are doing is what, okay, yes, this is what other teachers from different parts of the world are doing. Okay, I'm on the same path. Okay, let's do it together. Connections, yes, connections. The United with Each community, it's amazing for us, yes. They are always posting different ideas for all of the educators from across the world. Remember that on Twitter, you can follow us, yes, in Participate Learning. You can find me, yes, with the handle Janela Ferrer. Always United, hashtag United Our World or hashtag United We Teach. And in Instagram, I accept teachers, yes, that want to see regular life of a teacher. Yes, so you see that maybe you want to have this experience of moving, as Michelle said, to another country, and maybe you feel afraid of, but I don't know how to. You can ask me, yes. Hey, Janela, what if? Or how can I? Okay, so there you see my regular life, my everyday life, and here in Twitter, yes, on Twitter, everything about schools, sustainable development goals. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Janella. This was wonderful. Thank you for taking us to so many lovely spots in your community and giving others examples of places that they can maybe share with their students that are local, but also for taking us around the world a little bit and showing us where your students have had the opportunity to visit. So I didn't see any questions come into the chat. There were a few comments about the science experiment and noticing student engagement when they can actually be hands-on, even though you can't be in the classroom together. That example seemed to get a lot of comments in there, but we are close to wrapping up, but we can open the floor for just a couple of minutes. If anybody does have a question for Janella, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing the comments in the chats. Oh.
I just want to say thank you, Janela. I am really inspired. I also work with little kids, so I have got tons of ideas. I would love to connect with you too. So in order to give all these opportunities to my little kids. So
Gracias,
you're doing
Margarita.
amazing.
Thank you so much. Okay, you know, we always have the no as an answer. Let's try. As my colleagues said, yes, in the other presentations, try, get in contact. You know, no, they can say no, but, and if they say yes, we open not just our doors, the door for our kids to be in real world from home.
Veronica, do you have you look like you have a question that's in the chat. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask?
It's just a question from an Argentinian to another one. I just wanted to know, how do you teach the kids to say both or you or tú?
Boss. They are going to hear me saying boss, boss.
Okay.
Learn both. Yes, because imagine here they were with a Peruvian teacher. Now they are with an Argentinian teacher. Next year with a teacher from El Salvador and then from Chile and so on. And it's amazing because I told them, for example, I speak like an Argentinian, but at the same time, I learn from my colleagues. Yes, so for example, for me, jacket is campera, but I always tell the kids, okay, ponte tu campera, o ponte tu chaqueta, o ponte tu chamarra, in all the ways that we hear it in Spanish. Yes, so kids are open. Yes, you cannot imagine. I teach them in my own Castellano, yes, my own Spanish. Apart from that, I speak because you get accustomed, yes, to incorporate in your own vocabulary, like neutral, yes, vocabulary. So that's great. We do everything. We juggle, yes, with the language.
I think that's one of the things about our partner dual language programs that is so neat is that students might have teachers from different countries each year, and they get the experience of hearing what is used in each country, vos or tú, right? Mm-hmm. And understanding why, how that's formal or informal, or how in some, somebody mentioned in Colombia, it's not polite to say vos if a kid is well. So it's talking about those cultural differences, and that's a wonderful part of having the opportunity, whether you're a child or an adult, in getting to connect with other people from around the world. And so with that being said, I will encourage you, the summit may be wrapping up, but I encourage you to continue to connect with each other. And so I've gone ahead and just put in the chat several links that you may want to use, encouraging you to continue the conversation on Twitter, of course, but also in the community. We have seen over the course of today, and some of you are familiar with all of this, but it doesn't help to have a final reminder that we know many of you are looking for recordings. You might want to catch up on a session you missed or refer to something back in a session. In the resources tab next week, you will see this go live, the United We Teach Summit, February 2021. It is not there yet for you. That is in draft form, but next week, this is where you will be able to locate all of the recordings. We also encourage you to go to this discussions tab here and click on the virtual summit discussion. This is where you can connect with the presenters and with each other, share resources, takeaways, anything that you might want to ask a presenter that you didn't get the opportunity to ask today or didn't think about. And then the final thing is the badge. So the link for getting this credential is in the chat, but you can also find it through the courses section of the community. And what you can do here is go in, mine says resume, but yours will be to enroll in the course. And when you enroll in this course, you will have a quick little survey and then be asked to share one takeaway. And this beautiful badge, attendee badge at the end, will be yours. We've seen people sharing it already on social media today, and we hope that you will do the same. So once again, Janela, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and ideas with us today. We value your time and your willingness to share with others so much. And to the rest of you, thank you very much for choosing to spend some of your weekend with each other, with these amazing presenters, and with this community. And we look forward to continuing to connect with you there. Just as a heads up, I'm going to send out an announcement and post an announcement very shortly in the community, which you will be able to access through the main feed. It will pop up here. That announcement is going to let you know a few little reminders about how to stay connected, and also have a registration link for our next United We Teach Live, which will be, it's every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Thursday, the session is going to be dedicated to this summit. We are going to share some of the major takeaways and key points of each of the sessions. We're gonna maybe highlight and feature some of your tweets and posts from the discussion. And we'll also open up the floor for anyone who was present to share any thoughts that you have and any key things that you're thinking about trying in your classroom. So thank you. We hope to see you again soon, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Gracias.